There's a big story making the rounds online, and it's a beauty. Viral videos and blog posts are all talking about a miracle battery that could finally dethrone lithium. It's made from a metal you definitely have already in your kitchen, aluminium foil. It's cheap, way more abundant than lithium, and the hype says it's going to power the next generation of EVs. And yes, the Americans are wrong. Sir Humphrey Davy discovered an element he called aluminium in 1808, and then later in 1812 he changed its name to aluminum. But scientists in Europe preferred aluminium to slot in with other metals like sodium, calcium and potassium ion, whereas the Americans didn't bother. They reverted to aluminum. So finally in 1990 we won when the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry declared aluminium was henceforth the international standard. Same thing, different spelling. Just saying. I'm Dave, I'm taking on aluminium-ion batteries. So why isn't Tesla, the company that basically created the modern EV market, invented their own 4680 battery, and the king of innovators, shouting about this from the rooftops? Why is it just the media? And why is Tesla pouring billions into scaling up their 4680 lithium-ion cells while seemingly ignoring this supposed lithium killer? Well, that's because there's the story and then there's the science. Well, today we're going to cut through that hype. We're going to break down the very real, very cool science of aluminium-ion batteries and then explain why, spoiler alert, they won't be in a Tesla anytime soon. And then we'll get into the brilliant practical engineering behind Tesla's 4680 cells that keeps them king of the hill for the foreseeable future. Well, first, let's give the hype its due, because on the surface it is incredibly convincing. You don't have to scroll far to see mind-bending claims. A new Tesla super battery with a 2,000-mile range, a 15-minute charge and a 30-year lifespan. Well, these numbers are designed to go viral because they solve every headache a potential EV owner has. Range anxiety, charging time, battery life. And the core idea is genuinely exciting. Stanford University has a working prototype battery that charges in 1 minute. It lasts at least 7,500 cycles, 3 times as long as LFPs, and can't catch fire. Now everyone wants a better, cheaper, safer battery. Lithium ion, for all its power, depends on materials like lithium and cobalt, which have volatile prices and complicated supply chains. Aluminium, it's the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust. It's cheap, easy to recycle, and it promises a very high degree of safety. And the science is just as tantalising. It uses pure aluminium for the negative anode. That's cheap. Then 3-dimensional graphic foam as the cathode. That's also cheap and with a massive surface area. And finally, simple aluminium chloride as the electrolyte. And aluminium ions travel much faster through this, so that alone increases the charging speeds. These are all cheap ingredients, and it works. But the real secret is that the aluminium ion exhibits a 3+ charge, whereas the lithium ion is just 1. So in theory, that means you could move 3 times as much energy with each single ion, and those ions travel faster through the electrolyte. And that opens the door to some incredible charging speeds. Some say about 10 times the best that lithium ion can do. Combine abundant cheap materials, better safety and that triple charge potential, you've got the perfect recipe for a technology that sounds like it's going to take over the world. But in the world of battery science, progress is a brutal, unforgiving grind measured in tiny steps, not giant leaps. Just ask Tesla and their 4680 miracle battery. Still not in full speed production, despite being first announced in 2020, 5 years ago, and spending billions of dollars. So what's the catch here? Why isn't this miracle aluminium battery in your car right now? And this is where exciting theory slams into the wall of real-world physics. Now, let's be crystal clear. As of today, there is no official Tesla aluminium-ion EV battery. It doesn't exist officially. Despite the viral videos, there have been zero announcements from Tesla, zero regulatory filings, and zero battery day presentations about using aluminium-ion in their cars. The claims of secret factories and a 2025 or 2026 release are completely unsubstantiated. Tesla's public roadmap, the one they're spending billions on, is all about the 4680 lithium-ion cell. But of course, all that doesn't mean an unofficial aluminium-ion battery isn't secretly in the works. In fact, I'd be surprised if it wasn't. Now, the real story here is in the science. The single biggest hurdle for aluminium-ion in a car is its poor energy density at present. Now, while it might be theoretically perfect, current real-world aluminium-ion prototypes simply can't cram enough energy into a small enough space to power a long-range EV. You'd end up with something like a huge, incredibly safe fuel tank, but one that can only hold the equivalent of a couple of gallons of petrol. Well, state-of-the-art lithium-ion EV cells deliver an energy densities ranging from 150 to 250 watt-hours per kilogram of weight. The 4680 promises 272, more than a 10% increase, while aluminium-ion prototypes are currently far, far below that, much lower. To get the same range, you'd need a battery pack so large and heavy it would just cancel out any of the other benefits. It's fine for stationary grid storage, at this stage useless for an EV. Well, the second problem is durability. The highly charged aluminium ions, they're aggressive and they can chew through a battery's internals, especially the cathode, causing it to break down. Then there's the electrolyte, the liquid through which the ions flow. The most common electrolyte for aluminium ion is aluminium chloride, highly corrosive and sensitive to moisture. Virtually impossible to ignite, but if exposed to water, it produces hydrochloric acid that eats pretty much everything in its path. It's a bit like Sigourney Weaver found out in Alien. Well, now in a totally different direction, researchers are making real progress with new solid-state electrolytes that are also much safer and show incredible cycle life in their labs, lasting about 10,000 cycles with almost no degradation. But while these certainly exist and are being trialled in some EVs, they are still firmly in the laboratory phase. Their primary target is likely to be stationary grid storage, not cars. Mass-produced solid-state EVs will come very much later, but only once the chemistry and technology and mass production methods reach a certain stage that we've not yet reached. So why is Tesla doubling down on the 4680? 4680, by the way, is 46mm across, 80 high. So if aluminium ion is stuck in the lab and the solid state not yet quite ready for launch, what's Tesla actually doing? Well, this is where the 4680 cell comes in. Tesla's strategy isn't about some miracle of chemistry. It is about ruthless manufacturing innovation. The 4680, it's still a lithium-ion battery, but it's built very differently, and that makes all the difference. First, it has a tabless design. Now, a traditional battery cell is wrapped and it has lots of tiny tabs for energy to get in and out when you're charging and discharging, which create a bottleneck and that produces heat and resistance. The 4680's design has massive contacts that create a veritable highway, slashing heat build-up and resistance. This allows for faster, more consistent charging without any damage to the battery. Second, this is the big one, is the dry battery electrode called DBE. And it's a manufacturing process. Normally, battery materials are mixed into a toxic solvent-based slurry, and then they're coated onto wet foil. Now, before the foil can be wound up into the cylinders that are the batteries, this needs to be baked and dried in massive energy-hogging ovens, costing money to run and huge amounts of time to dry. The goal of Tesla's DBE process is to essentially print the dry active materials directly onto the foil, a bit like a laser printer. And this removes the drying cycle altogether. So it slashes the factory footprint. You can get more car making stuff in rather than battery, and it virtually wipes out the energy used for drying, and all the while speeding up the entire process. However, getting this to work at scale has proven to be incredibly difficult, especially for the cathode. It is working. 4680 manufacture is speeding up enormously, but reports indicate Tesla has not yet reached full speed and is still working to perfect the process. And third, the 4680 cells are designed to be part of a structural battery pack. See, normally batteries are put into modules within a steel casing. These modules are then mounted in larger steel battery frame, which is then mounted into the car's steel chassis. This is laborious, expensive and heavy. In a structural battery pack, there is a very lightweight case into which you load the individual cells, and this mixture forms a solid, which gives it the strength to become actually load-bearing and part of the car. So Tesla now has a front injection moulded single aluminium alloy casting, then the structural battery pack, and then the rear injection moulded single aluminium alloy casting. This saves hundreds of parts, cuts weight, no more welding steel components, makes the car stronger, safer, a lot more efficient. Well, these three pillars, the tabless architecture, the DBE process and the structural pack, they're not theories. Many Model Y EVs already use this system. You might actually be driving one right now. Oh wait, sorry, for safety, please stop if you're watching this video. Well, the remaining problems are tangible engineering challenges that Tesla's tackling in its gigafactories right now. While Tesla doesn't release exact production figures, production has been ramping up significantly. Now, Giga Texas is reported to be making 1.4 million 4680 batteries per week, and they've produced over 100 million altogether. This relentless focus on manufacturing is what lets them drive down costs and improve performance today, not 10 years from now. By the way, if you love cutting through the hype to get to the real engineering, do us a favour, subscribe and hit that bell. Better still, have a look at becoming a member with Patreon or YouTube. We're all about finding out what's actually real, and let us know in the comments what tech myths we should bust next. So does all this mean aluminium ion is a failed technology? Well, absolutely not. It's fascinating and a hugely promising area of research. Its biggest advantages, low cost, high safety and abundant materials, make it a fantastic candidate, but initially probably for a different job. The most likely place you'll see aluminium ion batteries first isn't in a car, but in massive stationary grid storage. For a BESS, that's a battery energy storage system, designed to store wind and solar power, weight and size aren't even an issue. Cost, safety and a long stable life they're what matter, and aluminium ion could one day be the perfect fit for that. But for high performance EVs, where every pound, every inch counts, it's just not ready. Widespread use in cars is most likely on the way at some point, but still many years away, possibly even a decade, even for Tesla. Well, the headlines will always chase the next killer tech, but real world-changing progress is usually won inch by inch on the factory floor. So while we all wait for the aluminium revolution, Tesla's just busy perfecting its lithium-ion empire. See, has a lithium mine in Texas, and that's in full production, making homegrown lithium carbonate faster and cheaper right on their doorsteps. This makes lithium the perfect material for the next few years at least. After all, we still have NMC batteries alongside LFP. Both have a place in the modern EV. Aluminium ion will likely have a place somewhere someday, I'm sure. Just not today. And for the car you might actually buy, that's what really matters. When and if it's ready, it will appear in your EV. You will have the final choice. Well, in the meantime, Tesla almost certainly does have some engineers working flat out to perfect the 4680 battery, and others to get an aluminium ion battery ready for production. After all, Tesla is one of the world's top 3 largest BESS companies on the planet. It would be crazy if they weren't working on it. I'm Dave.